Welcome to the South African Football Fan Podcast. For the fans, by the fans.
15 August. Time is 5:10. The third episode of the South African Football Fan Podcast. My name is TT yesterday, and today I have 3 Sundowns supporters. Gentlemen, can you please introduce yourself?
I am T. By the way, I'm a king because now we have established a castle for ourselves. So I'm T from the castle.
I am Alex MJ from the castle.
From where?
From the castle.
Castle.
King's Castle.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
My name is Musa. They call me Goodlin. I'm also from the castle.
Castle.
Yes.
Newcastle or Castle?
Castle. Sundowns Castle.
Oh, the Castle.
Yes.
The castle. Where kings and queens
castles
belong.
Okay.
And the princess and princesses.
Gentlemen, can you please tell me about the branch that you belong in?
Yeah, we belong to Sundowns Supporters Branch actually. And we had this brilliant idea to get a movement that is called BIBs, which is Bloemfontein Independent Branch. And the issue of independency, if one wonders what could it mean, we are trying to engage everyone. That is why we are kings and queens. So all of us have got to take the lead. You know, most in certain groups and organizations, most people rely on management or senior personnel to lead the way. But here we are trying to cultivate that culture of everybody taking responsibility, carrying the load, so that all of us, we can work towards a common goal. Because we don't want to find ourselves in a situation whereby in a group of 10, for an example, only 3 people are good and 7, the rest is, then it's not going to help in any way in expanding and growing our branch.
Okay.
Whatever I can do, Musa has got to be able to do it, and Alex has the same, and everyone involved in BIBs, basically.
Okay. Just tell me, why did you support Sundowns? Why did you support Sundowns in the first place?
Fortunately, all of us, all 3 of us, not knowing about the rest, the first thing that clicked on us as soon as we become aware of soccer as a sport or as an activity that needs support, we decided to be odd and support Sundowns, because now everybody was supporting Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, Moroka Swallows, the one that was relegated 3 seasons in succession, and now it was playing there somewhere in the location. But anyway, now then that's when it started. Possibly we are talking about the average age group of 12, 13. Those boys must get used to soccer at that age. Then I decided so, and according to what they told me, that's what happened to them as well. And then it's good being odd with Sundowns because now it's doing good. Ne? Yeah, it was a good odd choice.
Another thing to add on what T has just said is that we don't know any team.
Ever since we opened our eyes, when we saw football, actually good football, we started seeing Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah, like you saw yesterday. It was brilliant. That team can play. It plays to an extent that even if we lose 5-0, we go like, damn, our team can play.
Well, the 3 of you, are you guys from Bloemfontein?
Yes, we originate here in Bloemfontein, but Musa actually I'm the one who is originating in Bloemfontein.
Oh, okay.
And then the rest are from the Eastern Capes and
Durban.
KZN, it's a mix of provinces, and now at least we speak the same language, which is Mamelodi Sundowns and BIBs and the castle at BIBs. Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen, Sundowns have played 3 games so far.
No, it has
Two
to
games.
be two in the league, or you count the Champions League.
Can the Champions
All in
oh,
all.
Yeah, all in all.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Chiefs want us to play the friendly again, and okay.
The first game, you guys won a SuperSport.
Yes.
2-0.
Yeah. The second, you lost the CAF
Tour.
2-1.
But in reverse.
Yeah. Then last night, you guys drew away cheaper.
Yes.
Do you guys think the team have played good so far?
Wow.
Yeah, just to starting from the SuperSport game, you can tell that Sundowns is going to
We are
kill
ready.
a lot of teams this season. If you look at the changes which the coaches implemented, you can see that the movement of Londo from his original position to the attacking midfield. If you can look at from the yesterday's game, you can see that Sundowns this season is going to be the team to watch. While the other teams are worried about
Hlompo ke kana.
winning the league, worried about how many points are going to win the league with, because our team is at a different level compared to, for example, like on the first game of the season, we had the media said, hey, the Poland Pirates going to give people. SuperSport yesterday has proven
Humble them.
Most of the teams at the beginning of the seasons are not ready. But with Sundowns so far, I'm very happy. Even in that loss in Congo, I can tell you that if you look at the temperature, it's not an excuse, but when the game started on the first half and you compare it to the second half, on the second half, Sundowns was better. If the game changed at 0-0, Sundowns definitely was going to win that game. But Sundowns was under pressure, so we are ready.
But just to add on top of that, coming with a goal actually away, having got a red card from the captain that went to the captain, it can tell you how ready Sundowns is. They fought back, you understand, while they were actually minus one player in the field of play. And looking at all those players that played for those three different games, because even yesterday we didn't have Nascimento in the middle of the centre back, we didn't have who's supposed to be there, we didn't have Arense there, we were pairing another pair of centre backs in Madisha and Libusa, and you can already see that Sundowns is going to demolish most of the players. Even in the middle of the park, there was a lot of changes in there. Some of those known players were not in the field of play, but we did a good job actually coming away with that draw at the stadium.
And you can see that it's one of those few seasons where Sundowns is starting on a high with a win. If you check previous seasons, we started like
Loss,
and then we start gaining momentum towards the middle of the season. But now we are starting on a high note because now we are aiming for the 10th title. And like I'm saying, responsibility is key. You had the coach yesterday, he took responsibility for that draw. And you had Vilagazi as well, he took responsibility. And we are taking responsibility as well, Nobody is at fault at Sundowns. We are here to support one another. When you know how to do these mic things, we support you. We just behind you. And Pitso knows how to coach. We are supporting him. We are behind him. We know how to support. Surely he supports us. That's how it should work. That's how it's working.
Yeah.
That's how you see where Sundowns is good at.
And what do you think of the new player that played yesterday, CIB?
Wow. Kosiam, TC Chunga's close. No, they like this thing of saying you fit in like a hand in a glove or glove on a hand. But I don't think he fit like a glove in a hand. I think that guy, possibly he knew where he was going. He knew where he was destined, and he prepared very well for Sundowns. That I can say for sure, because not many players who come to Sundowns and never get to struggle. He never struggled. His game was fluent. He had errors here and there like any other player can make an error, but he was brilliant. I think he's mentally ready for Mamelodi Sundowns. Even the challenges that people always talk about, like, you're going to be on the bench, you're going to be on the stands. But that's the nature of Mamelodi Sundowns, competitiveness. That's why we want to compete with our members as well. At branch level, it has to be competitive. You must sit here and next time when you call us, then we bring another group and they do exactly the same thing that we are doing. Competitiveness. Yes.
And like say we played yesterday, but Jali and Manisa didn't play.
Yeah, I think if you follow Sundowns very well, the coach especially when during the transfer season always mentioned that the players who raises up their hands and say, no, I'm ready to play, coach, is going to play.
He's going to be in the field.
So we cannot entertain or talk about those players who are not playing, because like TS said, it's only the coach who knows that are these players ready or can they fit in that particular game. For example, I'll make an example. Last season when Jali was not playing, the very same Chippa United were playing, he was introduced into that game and he had a marvelous game. So it depends. When the players are ready, the coach is always there to help them and to make them fit exactly to the style of Mamelodi Sundowns. Yeah. So their time is coming. They must keep on working hard. Yeah. Because if you can do, more especially in that position, Tiani will tell you, Mabunda will tell you, he struggled a lot. But when they get his chance, he grabbed it with both hands. Also, same thing with your Madisha. All of Sundowns players, as long as they are willing and they've got that eagerness to win, and Mamelodi Sundowns, they're going to get their positions.
And my belief system tells me that it depends on what we want to achieve in a particular match. Because if you can check on the Champions League match, we played 3 central midfielders. So it depends. Jali was playing as well there. So it just depends what do we want to achieve in a particular match. Especially in the PSL, I guess when we sign players or when we acquire signatures for the players, we acquire them based on the workload. What is it that we're gonna go through? But you know, Sundowns is going through a lot. Everything, plays friendlies with whoever. Kaizer Chiefs wants to play friendlies with us. It's like, it's like Sundowns, it's a new thing, and ultimately you'll see on that friendly we'll be playing the unknowns again and we'll beat them. So now it depends on what we want to achieve at a particular match and the strengths of the opponents as well. That's where the decision comes in, that now you'll play Manyesa because he's got these qualities, or you can play Jali, or you can play whoever, or Siabi. Now I think that's how it works. That's how it should work.
And it will also help against fatigue, because remember, Sundowns is the only team which plays more games in the PSL. Yeah. So also with fatigue, to avoid fatigue and injuries, all the players who play in different positions, all of them, they must be ready. So it's not because those guys are not good, but because their time is coming.
Just to add on top of that, we know we have been aware, as much as we're talking about the competitiveness and the support that we give to our coaches, his decisions they are quite good, you understand. At some point we're playing Muren as a striker, but you have got strikers that we have in the team, you understand. We acquired a striker there outside from overseas, and then he's here. He should have been played on the day, but he opted to go for Morena. There's Brokey, whom I don't know where he is, but he should have been played, and then he opted for Morena, and then Morena performed wonders. Where I'm coming is that with the load of games that we are playing at Mamelodi Sundowns than any other team that we have in South Africa, the experience of the Jalis and Manyesas, we are going to need it somehow. Those guys, they've got international caps, they've got Bafana caps, they've played they've got a load of experience that they are carrying for Sundowns. Basically, when they are sitting there, they are analyzing some other team in Nigeria or in Morocco somehow. When they are executed, you would see that these guys belong to Sundowns.
And next year the coach's contract expires and he hasn't renewed yet. do you think that maybe he's not gonna renew because the Bafana's job is available now?
Look, I think Pitso made it clear that Bafana is a no-no. But in any case, I'm confident in his abilities and his decisions. He was born at Sundowns. He loves Sundowns. He grew up in there. He lives Sundowns. He's eating Sundowns, drinking Sundowns. Contractual issues, actually, it's just a pen in a paper that I think he can do it at any given time. Even if it expires tomorrow, I'm confident that Pitso will stay.
Yeah, based on what he said, it's true. And what I've realized with our coach is that he's got Sundowns at heart.
Yes.
You know, one thing that he beats most of the coaches with is that he is a coach of Sundowns and a supporter of Mamelodi Sundowns at the same time. You can see how bad he feels when we lose. When Sundowns is not doing well, he feels exactly like a supporter. And every time we are at the stadium, he'll come to us and put a hand on his badge and do like this, you know, and say he's coming. And we know that he's definitely coming. Every time he loses the title, he tells us that I am coming. So with regards to whether he will sign or not, the thing is, I think if he judges it based on money that is being pumped into him, that would be a good choice to make a good living for himself, and still we will still love him because he did wonders for us. And if it happens that he signs, I think it will be based on the love that he has for the team. Yeah.
During the transfer window, but when it opened, Sundowns were trying to sign 2 players from SuperSport United, Nkwena and Mudiba. But SuperSport said
They are not selling.
they're not selling.
They are not selling.
Have you ever seen the Sundowns way of playing?
Yeah.
Some commentators, bazoyincoma bathi, hey, they are patient. This is patience. Sundowns knows how to exercise patience.
Yeah.
Sometimes, my thinking though, sometimes we acquire a lot of signatures because we use them as a bait at some point, because, you know, in order to get someone, you just take money and have something and give in the players and all that, but I will not mention that other one that was requested. So so we need to have resources in order to gain what we want. So patience is the name of the game. Those guys will come on board at some point, and you will be amazed and shocked one time. Maybe in the
January
mid-season transfer window, you might hear some big news. That's how we are. Patient build-ups. Ultimately, they will come. It's just that at some point when a player grows big in South Africa, then because of people have been slashing Sundowns on media that they love everything that moves, they love everything that is good, but we are gonna take all the good things because we are a good team, and good players want to associate themselves with good teams. You know, what's the point of being a good player and playing at a team that is not good? So it dents your name. So if you want to build your name, come to a good team. They will come one day. Trust me.
If you have just listened to the coaches' interviews, the coaches' interviews based on those player refusal by those teams to give him those players. But you will always say that when I recruit, the way I recruit is different from other people. I ask the player I want, do you want to win league? I want to play in Africa. Then if you don't have dreams,
you want to play Club World Cup.
Then you can't play at Sundowns if you don't have. You must be ambitious. If you want to play a Club World Cup, it's only Sundowns who can take you there. So
there's no other team.
Yes, there's a method he uses to recruit the players. You see, just imagine you look at Villa. Villa, after winning everything in the PSL awards, but he couldn't win the league. Then the coach comes and said, "Do you want to win the league? Come to Sundowns." Then he did that first season at Sundowns.
You won the league.
So that's basically how we recruit the players. So even billiard, he left us, but now you can see that wherever he is,
he cannot win the league.
It's a drought.
It's difficult.
It's difficult. That side of the world, he knows that it's hard for him. He can hardly win anything.
And now his name is dented, you know. You know what dents his name? Because we are looking at a big name
Yes.
that doesn't produce
doesn't
any
produce
result.
anything.
You know.
Understand.
Now he's looking for his name and the production is at Sundowns, and the name is at Kaizer Chiefs. So now, what do you
The
do?
scale is not balanced.
What do you do? Otherwise, we're gonna end up pointing you with fingers. Have you ever seen when Kaizer Chiefs is playing? Everyone is always looking at Kamabilia. They go Kamabilia.
When is he going to score?
Kamabilia. And there's 11 players inside the field. You know, that's unnecessary pressure for him. Whereas at Sundowns, no pressure. All is star quality players, and when you are with quality, then you blossom.
And my brother, it's quality.
Yeah.
There we have players now who are chasing their 7th league at Sundowns. It's quality.
Can only tell you. Can
your
only tell you.
You understand? So that's a big team. So when we recruit, that's what also came to that. Hey, how is it to rub your shoulders with Shombo?
With Anthony Lafo. You understand?
And you had the goalkeeper that they called a bench warmer. He says when they ask him about Sundowns, do you think it's enough, Kennedy, what you've done so far? He says, hey, success is never enough. How do you say you are enough with success? Yeah. So that's how we are.
Talking about Kamabilia, like when he plays for Kaizer Chiefs, I can see the difference between when he played with Sundowns. Chiefs, everything depends on him.
He even takes throw-ins.
Yeah, he goes and collects balls from outside and asks the defender to go forward and score while he's supposed to be scoring. Yes, you understand. So you can see the difference. I guess it's one thing that we never look at when we are recruiting players. You see, now Pitso is recruiting. I'll just go back and forth. Pitso is recruiting Mudiba and Mokoena. And if you look at the gameplay of Mokoena and Mudiba, particularly Mokoena, I would have loved to have him even this season at Mamelodi Sundowns, because that is future. Understand? We're talking about patience here. The guy is patient. Now let me move to Kamabilia. The difference in between Kaizer Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns, there's a difference between Ajax Cape Town and Mamelodi Sundowns, how we played at Ajax, you understand? Even at Kaizer Chiefs. Difference is that he never gets the support that he used to get from Mamelodi Sundowns. You must remember, we play there as a team. We don't want to score 20 goals as an individuals. He knows that from Sundowns. But now, the load that he's carrying at Sundowns, it forces him to go to take the balls and throw in, you understand, so that he can quickly score, of which is difficult. I actually feel for him at some point, but I know that it's a route that he chose
And
himself. We love him. And to be honest, I would love to have him back.
Be excited.
Because we still have the material that made him Kamabilia that we know. You understand? Yeah, Slompo is still there. He's going to give him those balls.
And he's got unfinished business.
And he's got unfinished business. We have got a calf to chase. You understand? We are chasing 2 stars at the same time. We want to, what is that term? Beating the bed by 1 stone. Something like that. You understand? But we want to catch them both. Having Kamabilia, and I know for sure that he won't play 5, 6, 7 games. We'll be playing, we'll be achieving other things here without him. But when we are playing Congo somewhere, some other time, Kamabilia will be there and score in the Champions League. So therefore, what I mean to say is that his quality is there. Nobody should underestimate him. He's got quality. That is a great player. I would love to have that wizard back from back to Sundowns, because now actually his future is going to be doomed at Kaizer Chiefs. In any case, I didn't want to say that, but he's a brilliant guy.
Yeah. But I think the difference between Sundowns winning the Champions League is with Kamabilia, because I saw last season when you guys were playing, it could have made a difference between you guys progressing.
You exactly share my sentiments, you know. You could see that it's not like Sundowns wasn't good, but it's just that you needed that element, that karma element, you know. And if ever he's coming back, I welcome him. If the rest of the supporters of Mamelodi Sundowns don't welcome him, we will make him a BIB shirt. The castle shirt, and say, this is yours, we love you, bruh. You need to bring that little element add to this quality that we have. You could see the flow of the passes, but you need that. I don't know what is it that he has, but it springs out when he's amongst other players who can give more support in terms of what he needs to do. Then he can execute.
Yeah, there's that element also. Even not only on the Champions League, also you can even if you look at the league towards the end of the season. Because there was that element in Sundowns players of knowing what to do now. Bilal had that thing, because if you look at the last game we lost in the Champions League last season, we were good in that game.
We did everything good. We would have won.
We needed that
little
billiard,
special element.
that billiard touch.
The factor.
That factor, yes. Yeah. The factor in that game. It's a very same thing also. If you watch most of the Sundowns game, towards the end of any season, you can see that, you see now, it's not Sundowns playing.
No.
It's maturity.
It's maturity play.
They know exactly what to do now. When things are like this, what to do. So yes, you can always welcome that guy with open hands. If he really wants to play for Mamelodi Sundowns.
If he wants to win things. If he wants to win things.
Otherwise, we're going to beat him at the Shell Cup. Unfortunately.
Again. And he won't be beaten by Klompokekan. There will be the Fabregas. What is this guy's name?
Lucky
Muhu. It's Fabregas. We'll be putting Fabregas in there. We'll put it Kulisa in there, and on the polls there we'll put them. You understand? We'll just put everybody who wants to play, whom we are not intending to play them in the league this season. You understand? Those who we are still grooming. If Mukwena would have been here, we would play Mukwena there, and then they would beat the whole Kaizer Chiefs with Katsande inside.
And over the weekend, the MTN clash between Celtics.
That team.
Yeah, it's a good one, because I think Sundowns like challenges, because Celtics is proving to be good, not because of the 5-0, but if you even watch the game they played against Orlando Pirates, and they are gelling so well, nicely together, but unfortunately on the weekend in the MTN 8, unfortunately this is what Sundowns likes, Coach Pitso in the Champions League, he'd always say, you can see that now Sundowns is drawn with the big boys, and there is this thing of big boys, and it makes you to put in a lot of effort. For the fact that now they beat Golden Arrows 5-0, I think they made Sundowns to change the strategy now and go like, we're going to play against Celtics like it's Bloemfontein Celtics. But now that they won 5-0, you go like, you know what? Now we gotta change. I think I can promise you that we are going to win this one. Obviously, not because Celtics is weak, but because of the intensity they increased, or the level of football they are playing this season. Now they are making us to go higher. Most when something is under you, when it goes up, you go up. As Sundowns is not going down, we are going up. If you say now you are upping your performance, what do you think what's happening there at the top? We are becoming better and better and better. Yeah, that's why even if one of our members used to say, even if Celtics can take us to play in phase 6, we will still win. Because of now, Sundowns is getting better by the day. We are playing at different grounds, bumpy pitches, of which other teams doesn't have that opportunity. They only play on flat grounds. You can imagine now, when we are used to playing on a bumpy pitch and we get a flat one, what will happen?
Sure.
So, Sundowns will take it, not because you had the mental tickets you said, but because Sundowns, because remember also, this MTN 8 is the only cup which is alluded to our coach at Mamelodi Sundowns. So, every time, you will always say that yes, with MTN 8 years, with the MTN 8 years, I'll always go an extra mile. So I think also the players they share the very same sentiment with the coach, that they also wanted to win that MTN 8. So the senior players, the fans, we want it more. We want the team to need. So Sundowns cannot do this to us.
But even if they do it, Sundowns will always be good. We will be happy at the end of the day because everybody's doing his duties. Sundowns is going to play well. That's all I know against Celtic. We're going to play well. That I can promise. Whether we win, we lose, we are going to play well. And when we play well, there are chances to win.
I love it when you say Sundowns with Celtics is going to play well. I agree with you 100%. That would have been a good practice playing with Celtics because with the level of effort that they put into the field of play, particularly this season, these two games, even the Pirates game one, as much as my friend here has mentioned, it was a good game. Having lost it though, but they played quite a good game. I think Pitso is looking at Celtics as a good practicing team, preparing for the CAF Champions League and preparing for everything going forward, even winning the 10th league title that you are chasing. Because you must remember, when you play with the best, you become, yes, you understand?
They came at the right time.
They came at the right time.
Can you just maybe guess the starting lineup that's going to be playing over the weekend?
Over the weekend. Guessing the starting 11 at Sundowns is not as easy as with other teams.
As you just throw everybody.
We can't guess, that says our lineup is not an obvious one. You saw what happened yesterday. You saw what happened over the weekend. You saw what happens during the game, your Super Sport, and now you are putting us in a corner, But that's what we like. We like to be in the corner.
You need to be under pressure.
Unfortunately, predictions will be predicting the lineup. But if I had to give my lineup, I would give Udenis a chance to be between the sticks, and we take Utata. I love Morena playing forward, and we take Utata, Simbeke ku right back, and then Tata, Anele Ngonga. And then left back, the ever reliable number 4, jersey number 4 will always be there. And then
Langa.
Yeah, the centre back pairing, I love Arense. I think he should be there, and then play him with Lebusa. And then in the middle of the park, I would take I think the skipper must rest a bit anyway. The skipper has played a lot of games and I feel for him at times. Then we can play Sugar, Mhlambi Nomanyis, and then up front, we play, I don't know, they are called the Terrible Four. That 4 will stay like that. That will be Morena, that will be Mabue, that will be Zwane, that will be Gaston. But in the place of Gaston, I would take Villagas so that we can play a bit slower, because Celtics is fast. And then as soon as you get the ball, then you attack them slowly because they'll be rushing,
Rushing back.
And those passes on the box. Sundowns is the only team that can go to the opponent's box and pass it back to the goalkeeper. And go like, what, it's not working, guys, let's refresh and start again. Other teams, when they're at the box, they go like, yes, this is our opportunity. We will never ever get here.
We always get there. We always get there, and we are patient. We are patient. I would also go with his lineup. That pace that Celtics has, particularly when they break, when you have pressed them, it's gonna hurt any other team that they are going to play. If all these 15 teams are not looking at it, they are going to. Celtics is one of the teams that I think, if that squad is not going to be messed up, is going to cause havoc. But I'll also go with his lineup, whereby after just jumping the center, we need to be a little bit slow, because Gaston sometimes normally rushes all those passes and go, you understand, how he is. But I would say Villa, so that he can just hold those balls and we create those diamonds, we pass within the box so that they can make those little errors, we get those goals. But it's going to be quite a good game.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say because that will be based on what I want on that particular game. So guessing it's always like that.
Yeah, but you're putting us on a spot. We told you that the coach is the one who's doing that job. Our job is to support. Basically, we're going to support everyone who is on the lineup. Be it Kennedy Mwene, be it whoever we are going to support. Full support.
And okay, one last thing. When the PSL started, the league announced that the PSL won't have the rights to broadcast the matches from the TV to radio stations. What's your opinion about that? Because majority of South Africans don't have access to DSTV because they have to pay for it.
Yeah, I can say to that, we come from the branch which supporting football at the stadium.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that blackout is a problem to those soccer fans, who like to watch their teams on TV. But as for us, we love to watch our Sundowns at the stadium. We want that atmosphere. So whether there is a blackout or no blackout, it doesn't cause that much damage. But yes, I feel for those because there's a difference. There is a supporter, there is a fan, and there's that person who only loves to Sundowns when it's on TV. So for us as BIBs, it's not going to cause any so much damage on us because even if I was to watch the game at my place, we don't do that. We watch it as a branch. We watch Sundowns as a branch. We don't watch Sundowns as an individual. So for us, as a Bloemfontein Independent Branch, it's not going to affect us that much because wherever we will be, we'll be able to watch Sundowns play.
And I think, be it a business transaction or any other way, I think it still has got disadvantages and advantages. Advantages being one of these, what Kim Musa said, that at least it will encourage people to be more involved at the stadiums.
Yeah.
And if it's a business transaction, then meaning that, South Africans, meaning somebody wants the whole money to be directed to a certain company because of this and that. But what makes me happy is that at least it will give us that drive that we never had to be able to go to watch our teams play. Yeah, not to say that it's okay, because there are those people who can't even afford to go to the stadium. They can't even afford to buy the dish and everything. And for them, I feel for them. But anyway, that's the unfortunate part of life. Life is always unfair. Yeah, and I like it when it's just, because justice, you look at different things. I look where you stay, where I'm staying. I'm not hitting you with the same Iswazelfanayo, because I can look at you and go like, no, you are wearing green, I'm wearing gray, so maybe gray is tougher than green, then I'll hit more on the gray, but now and it's painful because other people won't have access to whatever we have access on. Yeah.
On that note, I think the SABC and PSL, all those financial transactions, stumbling blocks, I think they are hitting very hard on the less fortunate individuals, coming from the certain area as well, because I'm coming from rural areas. Back in the days, we struggled to have a coverage of games, even the black and white then, and we only reverted to radio stations, of which, if now the coverage is not there, a bigger portion of those rural areas, those less fortunate people, I think they will suffer. For us who are closer to stadiums, we will forever be able to go there, and I know that there is some even closer to the stadium that they cannot even have or afford to go to the stadiums. But as a BIBS member, I can tell you, the minute they talked about it, I didn't even entertain it because now it doesn't cause any harm from my side. I had a DSTV. I even cancelled it, put it away because now I'm serious. You understand? It's like I've never watched Sundowns in a television. You understand? Whenever Sundowns play, I go to the stadium. That's BIPs. We work to finish. What transpires here is that I can tell that it's going to dent a little bit in those who are less fortunate. And we must remember, we also want them to have the love of football. They need to get the coverage. They need to know about their teams. They need to support these teams. At some stage, 1 or 2 years down the line, they would love to go to stadiums. But it should be something that will still be triggering them while they are sitting there. They cannot go to the stadiums. I think that is how I feel about it. And whatever it is in between the SABC and the PSL, I think they should try to resolve it as quickly as possible for those less fortunate individuals so that they can get the coverage of the football fraternity of South Africa.
Yeah, but this also is also caused by the greediness. You can remember just 2 years down the line, we had a very same challenge when it comes to CAF. They take the football rights and they sell it to a company in France. So every time when the local broadcasting stations need those games, they have to pay a lot of money per game. So yes, those football officials, they must also consider us, because whatever it's happening, remember, without fans, there's no football.
There's no football.
Yes,
and without us, there's no football.
There's no football.
Yeah. So
they must also think about us when they're making those decisions, because I think they must share. Because like soccer, for example, or any sport, it's a matter of the national interest. Anyone in the country watches sport, can it be rugby, soccer, cricket.
It's a national interest.
Those sporting codes, they must be accessible from the free channels. They mustn't take all the rights and give them to the pay channels.
And I really do not understand, because they can see that soccer is the cheapest sporting code that we can ever have in South Africa, because others, soccer, I'm like stunned every time when I look at a soccer match ticket and it's 40 rand, and you go to other sporting codes, you go like 250. You know, like, and there's a reason for that, because they know that soccer has been supported mostly by less fortunate people. And now all of a sudden they want to deny the very same people that they are decreasing the price tickets for them, and they are denying them the opportunity to see what they love. You know, it's a bit difficult. Hopefully our plea will come forward to those who have got ears to hear, and then at least think for other people, you know, and not try, they should be just, they should apply justice instead of fairness. Yeah, in all fairness, it's good to develop whatever they want to develop, but when it comes to justice looks at different things, different angles. That's why in court they'll ask you, did you drive this far? Say, okay, and where was this guy? Because now we are trying to get justice. So there's no justice in this whole PSL and SABC saga. It's just somebody thinking for themselves alone.
Greedy.
I just hope they'll resolve it, because sometimes you work till late. Then the radio, SABC radio, will sometimes help us with to know that
broadcasting of the games.
Exactly my point.
Broadcasting the games.
I think because I've also heard that also the government is involved. Maybe they will try to.
Yeah, if it's SABC, that means SA is there. So government is indirectly there. Yeah, they call them what do they call them? SABC, they call them, what do they call them? These companies that are
state-owned.
Yeah, SAB has got to be a state-owned company.
State-owned company.
Yeah, exactly. So the state must come in handy there, honestly, you know. We can't afford that the state goes and give people grants, and then the very same grant, you need to take it and go pay, you know, or go to stadium with 400, you know.
DSTV is expensive.
I mean, when you come back from that game, you are broke, you pay that account, you are broke. So government must also intervene, you know, put in some funding in there, you know, at least make it lighter for everyone.
Gentlemen, can you just maybe say say your last words to finish up the interview.
Last words. Do I have last? I doubt I have last words. But I would say my last words would be as a Mamelodi Sundowns supporter, I would love to encourage everybody who is supporting football. It doesn't matter which team it is. I would love to encourage them to be there for their teams, be there for your coaches, because this hiring and firing, it's not good at all. It's just an indication that somebody elsewhere doesn't do their job. You know, when you are a supporter and you want a coach to be fired, you need to ask yourself whether you are doing what you are supposed to do as a supporter. Are you supporting enough? Or should we fire you as well as a supporter and say you are not allowed to support Celtic anymore because now you are not doing your duties? So this hiring and firing must come to an end so that the quality of the football can improve. Supporters, if they can just learn to do what they are there for, which is supporting. It doesn't matter who is in the starting lineup, who is not. We are not there to support favorites. We are there to support our team. And the team consists of everyone who is wearing your colors. And moreover, when it comes to BIBs, we are actually donning the orange colors, and that orange color it's for visibility and dominance. Actually, what we want to do, we want to dominate Free State by starting to consider the smaller towns. Exactly the same thing we are talking about with regards to SABC and PSL. Most of our team representatives, mostly in every team, they like to consider big cities like we need to have a branch in Bloemfontein, you know, in Gauteng South, Durban, you know, South. Forgetting that we've got Excelsior here.
You've got Bloemfontein.
We've got Verkeerde Vlei here. We've got Soutpan here. So now, our aim is to try and get closer to those people, because now in our lineup we are standing whereby we need to go see Petersburg, we need to go see Beltfontein, Soutpan, Brandfort, Edinburgh. You know, those places. You know, most of the teams don't have any reps there because reps are in the better cities. But the people at the better cities need to pull up their socks and go see those guys and see what will happen. Possibly at the end of the day, we'll find our stadiums being filled like those ones in the European leagues. You know, you'll see even midweek we'll be like, you know, but unfortunately we tend to ignore some smaller things. And we know Ukuti, a river, it tlatswa ke dinokana, ba re noka ka Sotho e tlatswa ke dinokana. Ne ke re ke e bua ka Sekgowa ke lebetse Sekgowa se na ntho tsena tsa Sotho.
The river is fed by small rivers.
The river is fed by small rivers. Yes. To a bigger river.
Yeah, just to wrap up, yes, as you said, yes, I'll speak now as a BIBS. Yes, Sundowns support as a BIBS. Yes, we are also involved in a lot of activities in our community, because remember, we started small, so we must also go out there and find the other T's. We must rediscover where we're going to find them. We'll find them at school, we'll find them at orphanages, we'll find them everywhere, we'll find them in the churches also. So yes, we need also to engage those church people and the schools, whereby we'll have to recruit those young ones, because you see, football, they said it's a universal language. It changes everything. There is a disadvantaged child in phase 6 or in Kailicha, in Bergman, who loves Sundowns, but with the situation in which he or she lives, she won't be able to watch Sundowns. She won't be as fortunate as I am when I started to watch Sundowns when I was 8 years old. You understand? So we've got some kind of charity activities which we do in the community. We've adopted a home,
place of
home of safety. Yes, we visit them. We're still going to visit them after 3 months. So we want those guys to understand what is it exactly to be a Sundowns fan. If you work on Sundowns, So basically, as Sundowns fans, and we also encourage also other fans like your Celtic, we normally interact with them. That guys, let's change our community. Let's show those people who don't understand football that football, soccer in particular, can change people's lives. Yeah. Thank you.
Talking about football as a universal language, I love the term because you can even go back. You know that before the Ellis Park disaster, the stadiums were getting filled up at any given stage when we go to watch our games. It goes down to now I'm appealing to all the football organizers in making sure the safety of the supporters before we can recruit them to the stadium. But as BIBs, we never say that. We are collecting everything that we see in front of us in making sure that they understand. Particularly, my target is women and children. Women and children should understand the word football and how it is actually clarified going forward. You understand? Football is not about going there and watching Kama Billiard, missing the clear-cut chances at Kaizer Chiefs. It's all about the universal language that you are talking about. You get to meet people, you get to see places, you get to be in a mix of particularly when you're a Sundowns supporter and maybe Celtic supporter, I don't know, other teams, whereby you will be singing and embracing, enjoying the atmosphere of the stadium. Get in a social stability. It takes you away from actually the problems of the grant that maybe you got from the state and that is finished by buying meal and cooking oil and all that not. Yes, the little that you had to pay to go to the stadium might have bought soap maybe somehow, but it relieves the stress, and then it comes to your mental health. It goes with health as well. You understand? You need to be cleared up going to the stadium. So basically, my target it would be the women. I would love to have as much women as we can have, whom have got a better understanding of football. I would love them to be at BIBs, whereby we will be traveling all over with them and with their kids.
Yes, Nambuhlali.
Abukope. If you are not clever, you need to ask. Understand? So that's basically how it is. When you are not that clever, you must remember we are not given the same level of brilliance, you understand, and looking at things. But when you are not that clever, you need just kneel down and ask God. He will give you. That guy Aslech.
He promised us.
He promised us. Yes.
That one is guaranteed.
That I will give it to just ask.
But as a football supporter, then I would love everybody and encourage the people of South Africa. Like Ntate has mentioned, this side, he made an example of overseas-based stadiums that getting filled at any given time. Is it Monday at 12 o'clock,
even
Tuesday?
If it's a small team playing.
Even if it's a small team playing,
matter.
you understand? We don't have to look that Kaizer Chiefs is playing today. It's an old team, and Sundowns is playing today. Is one team that, you understand, the better team or the best team, you understand? So we need to attend games and have that social stability.
Yes, that's what is needed.
That's what we need. We don't need people. We don't need people sitting on the coffee tables. We have to go to the stadiums. I'm appealing to the South African South African people. Let's go to the stadium and support our teams.
Viewing areas, if there's a challenge, viewing areas.
Yes, at least. Viewing areas. Maybe Bloemfontein municipality might organize when South Africa is playing or Kaizer Chiefs Pirates is playing a big screen here at Hoffman Square. You understand? They advertise it. You understand? A month prior, we are going to be live, Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates. I'm just making it because they would say that because it's a Sundown, he wants Sundowns to be put in there. In any case, I won't be there. I'll be at the stadium. So what I'm trying to emphasize here is that we need to give that to the people. They have to feel it. We need to drill it in their hearts and their minds. The football is the universal language.
Thank you, gentlemen, for coming today. It's just such short notice. There was the South African Football Fan Podcast, the third episode, for the fans, by the fans.
You can find us on SoundCloud, AudioMac, and YouTube at NIR Media. Feel free to send us your opinions or views about the show at nirmedia17@gmail.com.